if they're doing something bad, it would be great that they have nothing good to say about me. Y'all feel the point I'm making? I'm not trying to be accepted by people who I knew have become social with oppression. That don't make me feel good that people who have accepted, I know the masses of our people have accepted the white supremacist infrastructure institution as their way of life. If I know they have accepted this, how would that make me feel to be accepted by them? I don't want to be accepted by you. I don't want to be accepted by people who have laid down, who have become passive, who have turned the other cheek. I do not look for their acceptance. They should hate me because I'm not turning no other cheek. If another cheek turn, it'll be the cheek of the devil, smacking it off his goddamn head. So I don't seek acceptance by those who have been socialized in the ways of the European. Now, I started off where they were at, but I began to anti-socialize in a way that was not conducive to nation building. Many say they want to be revolutionaries, but they're too social to be revolutionaries. They're too social. Because the social framework of reality is what maintains things going on the way that they are. But when you become antisocial and censored, then you can impact and change the socialization now. And now you're building a new society based upon a new socialization. You see the point I'm making? Based upon a black nationalistic socialization. But for a minute, you're going to be rejected. Till you become powerful enough and strong enough in your own social order of things to begin to impact and influence the sociology of others. That's how civilizations are born. But everything that started off as civilization started off as an antisocial manner that began to gain impact and momentum to re-socialize society. That's how every civilization started. Many of us aren't ready for revolution because we are so socialized. The Europeans that came over here to America were antisocial. They were kicked out of Europe. They were the prison colony. They came over here with the Native Americans living off the land. And now you see what they have here now. Look at it. They have erected something that's almost relative to their counterparts in Europe. That's competitive. You see the point I'm making? With their counterparts in Europe. But they had to come and live off the land. They couldn't come and live like they was living in Europe overnight, did they? They had to come and take a antisocial way of living to build up power. What do you think we have to do? You come in the temple, we don't have cold water. I mean, we don't have hot water here. But we have developed systems of boiling water. We have not perfected plumbing as individuals. As a group, we eventually will. Follow me with this. But this way of living that we are living is not interfaced with a society. It's its own. So we have accepted this degree of independence and sovereignty and self-sufficiency so that we can have our own. We're not paying for no Jewish storefront. We're not going to pay the white boy to organize. So if we got to socially step down a few levels, do you see the point I'm making? To set this up, that's what you got to do. Because he can't charge you and beat you over the head. He can only charge you for being him. It costs to be a white boy. It costs to live in a white supremacist framework. Because he controls all the trappings of that way of life. It costs money. It's expensive. We have not one bill here. We're not paying bill. You see the point I'm making? We're not paying bill to build our own nation. We're not going to pay him to be us. This is not his plan, and I keep telling y'all that. This is not his. We've been paying him to exist, to breathe, to have oxygen, to walk around, for bricks. Where did he get the bricks from the earth? How much did the earth charge him for these bricks? Yes. The earth didn't charge him for bricks, so why the hell is he charging us for bricks? That's extortion. Yes. But we're so addicted to his socialization that we won't break away from his social order long enough to establish our own relationship with nature to build up our own thing. Because we want to live in Disney World. Y'all hear the point I'm making? We want to eat at restaurants. We want to live in the Disneyness of a society. We want to be in Las Vegas. We want the shopping spree. And he controls that because he owns all the storefront. He manages all the land. And he's implemented a military and a security system to protect all of that. And when you're going into that, that's his. Not by authority, but by circumstantial advantage. Y'all hear the point I'm making? It's not his by authority, it's his by circumstantial advantage. So we got to go find our own circumstances where we can have and begin to build advantage. But in order to do that, we must step away from his socialization. His socialization is expensive. And you got to be in that to create that and build that. But if you can step away from his for long enough, you can begin to see that we can have our own. And you know, he's not even watching us having our own. He's watching his shit, Disney World, too. He's using all his troops to keep Disney World going. He's not paying no attention to us. There's no money here. There's no way he can identify himself with this. He has no identity here. You see the point I'm making? But it's our socialization that keeps connecting us with him. We got to step completely away from him and establish a relationship with the very phenomena of the universe. With the very circumstances that are out here, we must begin to develop our own relationship with him outside of his institutions. Out here in the out here. Y'all feel the point I'm making? And then we will begin to build our own. Everything that he says we need to be human. Because we was arguing in the 60s or whatever that we're human. Could you believe that? We was trying to tell him we're human. Like that's not obvious. But we were saying, but our concept of humanity when we were walking with those signs was him. We weren't saying we're human. We're saying we are you. We're white. That's what we were really saying. Because it's obvious that we're human. But we have associated humanity and being human with his culture and customs. I said if Africans came over here with the knowledge of herbal science and with the knowledge of living off the land and nature, if they came over here with this knowledge unindoctrinated into white supremacy, we have been had a nation. We would have been built it up. But they come over here and get incorporated into Disney World. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? They're able to live off the land and they're able to survive and grow their food and establish a relationship with nature wherever they're at. They can do this by way of where they were geographically born at. But they come over here and want Disney World. And how did the white man build Disney World? He had to live off the land first. Even to build Disney World. He had to come over here with the Native Americans and set up tents. He had to go across all those waters and go through whatever he had to go through on that boat. Seasickness and starving and all that. He had to get out and wage a war with nature even to get this circumstantial advantage that we call authority. He had to wage a war with nature as a pirate. He was a pirate. Y'all see the point I'm making? To come to the point of what we see now as his society. And you think we're going to have something in some less of a manner? You think somehow we're going to have a nation inside of his shit? He's mastered that. We must go where it is unmastered. Y'all hear the point I'm making? Well, we are the masters. And build advantage. And once we build our own and build our own advantage, that means we have a relationship with nature to construct and build everything we need. Then we begin to build power and build strength. And then we can go back and claim whatever we want. I hear the point I'm making? But we have to step outside of his framework for long enough and accept anti-socialization. Because it is social to be a slave. It's social to have a job. It's social to go to the movie theaters. It's social to go eat at this restaurant. It's social to dress and look like this. This is all social. And that whole social is the economic foundation of his complete infrastructure. What we consider to be social is economically aggrandizing him in every particular way against us. We say we don't spend enough money with black businesses. Money, this transaction of money was not set up for black business. It was set up for the Federal Reserve Bank. It was set up for the rich, wealthy families of the world to stay in power. That's why the monetary system was created. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The monetary system was established for white power. To distract everybody in his economic reality, so that all our labor and our services will go for what? Building up him and his. Otherwise, we didn't need money. The Native Americans didn't have no damn money. But they ate. They fed them damn devils when they came over here. So what was money created for? It wasn't created for the Native Americans. Was it? So how was it created for us? The economic reality, at the essence of the conception of the dollar bill, it was created for a reason. I don't care what nobody say. A system was designed by its designer for a reason. They made this up. They thought about this for a reason, and it was to keep themselves in power. If you believe in my monetary system, you don't even have to believe in me. First, you don't believe in yourself. And by way of believing in my monetary system, you believe in me. If you believe in that which was designed by them, you can't help but to believe in the designer. So they ain't got to even push white supremacy the old way that they used to. They create the basis and means for exchange among one another. If they substantiate every transaction among one another, how powerful is that? That our transaction has no value unless their monetary is involved into it? That's power, ain't it? That means our relationship means nothing. That means our relationship among each one of us means nothing unless there's a dollar bill transacted. To show you that, you go talk to somebody and they be like, if it ain't about the money, I ain't got nothing to say. If it ain't money, it ain't nothing. So you mean to tell me this figment of the European's imagination, this currency and economic system that he created is the basis to validate a relationship between us? That's greater than white power. He validates the relationship between each other. So we're just as valuable to one another as how much money we have. That's how valuable we are to each other, how much money we got. We see no other value. The value is relative to how much money that we have. So when you start saying forget money, you sound antisocial now. How do we socialize? How can I relate to you if money does not validate your reality? You got to be a real human, Jack. You got to be a real person. You know how you interact with us? Through real personhood. You feel what I'm making? Not money, real personhood. So what we're developing is a call on real personhood. Not money. Real people. Because we respect the reality of people and the reality of our people. Because if we don't respect real people and the reality of our people will die. It's called genocide. Money will still be here, we'll be gone. And money will still be transacted. The paper will still be going around with additional new people. We'll be like the Tasmanians. The Mayans. Dig up our coffins and some of us will have money in our tombs. Y'all hear the point that I'm making? They found gold in some of the tombs of the mummies. They'll find dollar bills in ours. But you won't see us anywhere, but you'll see us in tombs with dollar bills. And chains and gold chains. Some of us will be buried in their cars. But our race will be gone. Because we have given more reality to his currency system than we have given to ourselves. So our reality dies. And Disney World is what goes on after us. I say, I ain't going to give no more energy to Disney World with my life energy. We must establish and manifest a black reality. It already exists. It's not something that we're making out of clear, thin air. But we must give energy to that. So we say no.